Welcome to another episode of It's in You. Today I'm back again, guys, and I'm here to say a big thank you to all my subscribers, to all my supporters out there. You know yourself. I want to say a big thank you. And guess what? You know I miss you guys. I really miss you. And that is why I'm here today. I'm so delighted. I'm so happy to talk with you today. And guess what, guys? I am here to share something with you. Guess what it is? It's all about my personal development. But guess what? My personal development, it didn't start out with me. It started out with two special people. And guess who they are? It's my mom and my dad. Yes, you know what? A couple of years ago, they met, they fall in love, and they were having some good, wonderful sex. They were making love, they were having a wonderful time. Yes, guys, and I am the last of my five siblings. So I don't even know if they were planning for me. But guess what? I am here and I'm excited to be here. I'm happy to be here and I'm thankful for them for going through those moments, for meeting each other, and for making love, and was able to conceive me so that I could be here. And I want to give a big thanks to my mom who brought me for 9 months in her womb, right? For 9 months. And so that's where the personal development begins, not with me, but with my mom and with my dad, because my dad was there beside my mom. In spite of their struggles, in spite of their ups and downs, he was there. And so they play a very critical role in my personal development at that stage of my life because I couldn't do nothing for myself. I was just a baby. I didn't even born yet. But guess what? What about when I was born? Let me give you a little about that. I was born in a home. I was not born at the hospital. That was special to me when my mom told me, "You were not born in the hospital." I said, "Where did I born?" She told me, "You were born in your aunt's house." And so that house was handed down to my aunt by another relative. And so that's the house I was born in. And so she would sit and tell me that, "Who cut your navel string?" It was not a nurse. It was your godmom. And my godmom was a lady by the name of Miss Gretel, and she's still alive now. Hope Miss Gretel is watching. Yes, this is your guy Jermaine. You cut the navel string. Yes, thank you so much. So, guys, that part of my personal development, right, was very critical moment of my life because if my parents, my siblings, my neighbors, my friends, people in the community did not pay full attention to my personal development at that time, then what I am today, I don't think I would make it to be what I am today. Those days were very critical. And I'm not going to go into details, but you know the role of parents, you know the role of mothers and fathers in the community. You already know the role of bigger siblings, like your older siblings, brothers and sisters, and uncles and aunts, and you name it. And guess what? Another important person that plays a critical role in my personal development as a child was my grandmother. She is passed away now, but I will never forget her. I remember her every day of my life. So, growing up, she was a critical part of my personal development. And these were the the strategies, right? So it was all about love, trust, accountability, forgiveness, sharing. Those were the critical characteristics and fundamental principles that people in my community, the church, my siblings, my mom, my grandmother, those were the fundamental principles that they use to help to develop my personal development. So, yes, guys, as I was growing up, and we are talking about my personal development, there were five fundamental principles that I experienced growing up in my community, around people in my community, with my parents, my siblings, and these were the five fundamental principles that helped to guard me, that helped to guide me in my personal development as I go through primary, go through high school, and getting ready to go to college, working on my own. These were the five fundamental principles. One of them was love, the other was trust, the other was faith, the other was accountability, and the other was forgiveness. And they still are fundamental principles in my personal development growth today. And guys, as I talk about these fundamental principles, they are very passionate to me and my personal development growth because these were the type of fundamental principles that I experienced. And nobody in the community, my siblings, my mom, my dad, nobody had was to spell them out to me. I lived and experienced them. I saw them with my two eyes. I experienced them mentally, emotionally, and physically. I experienced these five, you know, um, fundamental principles. I experienced them all. So nobody had was to tell me that this one was for that, this one was for this. I experienced them, guys. When you talk about love, see, a lot of people don't understand what is love. To 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 make it with your personal development and to have a good personal development structure and backbone and everything you could ever think of your personal development, it has to start with love. Without love, forget about it. Because to accomplish anything in your life, you need love. Love is a centerpiece. And after love, you're talking about faith. Faith was one of the fundamental principles that I was grown up with. So, my family was religious, yes. My grandmom was religious. And she would play a big part in my personal growth at that time. And so we would have to go to church. We would have to go to Bible studies. We would have to go to the concert. We would have to go to Sunday school. And so that was one of the fundamental principles. And it's all about faith, believing in something, right? You have to believe in something to achieve and to grow and to develop personally. And then you talk about trust. You have to you have to trust someone. You have to trust someone as you build on your personal development. You have to trust someone. If you don't trust anybody, forget about it. There's somebody there that you have to trust, my friend, to work on your personal development. And then you talk about accountability. Many of us, we don't want to take accountability for the things we have done. We don't want to take responsibility for the things we have done. We don't want to take accountability for the people we hurt. We don't want to take accountability for the people we push around and we do bad things too. And and for the mistakes and the errors that we make in our life. We have to learn to take accountability, right? And after taking accountability, one of the important things that we have to learn is to forgive. So, working on my personal development, forgiveness and accountability was very important in that stage of my life, going through primary and high school. And especially high school, that's when you know it's all started. Because forget about primary, you're just enjoying yourself, you're just a kid. But when you go to high school and you start to making decision about your life when it comes to your career and your personal development, you have to you start thinking now like an adult. And so these five fundamental principles, those were the things that guide me in my personal development as I go through high school stage of my life. Yes, guys. But guess what? After the high school stage of my personal development, what happened next? Because when you leave high school, forget about it, because that's when the bomb rush starts. Because now it's like you're on your own. You're an adult now, right? And even though you haven't gone to college, but in my culture, yes, when you leave high school, you're thinking about adult stage. You want certain things for yourself. You need a job and support like that. And so, yes, my life was kind of excited. It was excited. You know what? I did some crazy stuff. Listen to me. I pushed myself out there like crazy. You wouldn't understand. But it's so much guys to talk about. But you know what? I'm gonna make it more than one part of this video because I don't want to get you guys bored. But I'm gonna give you a little hint of after I left high school when it comes to my personal development. So when I left high school, right, I graduated with honors when I was at high school, right? And so in those days, the teacher they would select the subjects for you to take. They have the CSEC exams, they have the GCE exam. And so my teacher, she recommended the GCE, which is an English subject. And so, yes, I took the British examination. I didn't take any Caribbean examination because my teacher recommended me to the British examination. However, yeah, I did the examination. I graduated with honors. I was wearing like five different badges: student council president, this, that, prefect, student council body, and you name it. Yeah, I was in control of the class. When the teacher wasn't there, the teacher would assign me to different classes, to take control until they're back from their meeting and stuff like that. But yes, my high school days was exciting. And don't forget, guys, that there's a lot of time when I went to school, I didn't have lunch either. I have to tell you that. But I have some good friends who used to look out for me. Yes, they used to have some very good support system. But yes, forget about that now. But what I'm saying, yes, I graduated with honors. I had a good graduation. I collect a numerous amount of gifts, guys. I was marching up, collecting my gifts. Oh my God, I felt so good. It's one of the most exciting time of my life, as a youth. And so, as I said, graduated with the honors, and then after graduation, then comes the examination result. And so I think it was like maybe 2 months after graduation or 3 months, I had was to wait for my examination result. And this is what happened, guys. I had was to go to the school. So I went to school and I pick up the result. Now the result is sealed until you open the result. So I remember the school is up on a hill. So I was walking down from the hill, going down into the town, and I remember clearly when there was a market in the town of Spalding, because that's the town I grew up in, Spalding town in Clarendon. So I remember I was walking past the market and oh my God, my heart was going boom, 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 because I was about to open my examination result. And so when I opened the paper and I look at all the examination, I think it took 7 subjects. And when I look at all of them, guys, believe it or not, I failed all those subjects. You better believe it. So you can imagine you graduated with honors and you took some British examination, some GC examination, and when you got the results, they all failed. Yes, guys, I was failed. You better believe it. So I was in the town and I was in so much shock. I was like, what? So, I'm not looking like this now. I was looking down. I was looking depressed. I was like, what next? Because you can imagine you just left high school and you're thinking about going to college and you need those subjects to go to college, right? So now, how many subjects I have after graduating with honors? Zero. Zero subject, guys. Not even one subject left high school with. So guess what? What did I do? What did I do? At that point in time, after I reviewed the result and I realized it was failed, all of them were failed. You know what I did? For a moment, I was sad. But then I look at the paper and I look up to the sky. Because remember, guys, one of the fundamental principles that I was grown up with was faith. And so at that point in time, faith came into action. I look at the paper and I said, God, you knows what best. I said, you knows everything. And I said, God, I give it to you. I said, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to murmur. I said, what is done is already done. Now it's time for me to think about the next move. And so I throw the paper away at that point in time. And then I start thinking about what next to do. But guess what, guys? This is going to be the end of part one. And so you have to come back for part two because part two, I'm going to tell you how I continue my personal development. And if you are watching for the first time, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and look out for part two of my personal development. Love you all.